going to kick it off. Would you
Linda,
like to
there's
say
a chair in here.
Oh, there's a chair right over here.
Or here, Linda. Linda.
That's okay. They'll edit the back of your head out. You ladies enjoy yourself?
Okay.
Alright, so the first few are really easy.
Yeah.
Okay. It's just gonna say, what is your last name?
Crooks.
Spell it.
Crooks.
Spell it.
Crooks.
First name.
Frank.
And your middle initial.
C.
What year were you born?
1924.
Where did you live when you became part of the military?
St. Joseph, Missouri.
What branch of service were you part of? What branch of service were you a part of?
Army Air Corps. Army Air Corps.
So how did they get in the service? Like,
I was drafted.
you were drafted. When did you first start service?
3rd of March, 1943.
Where was your basic?
Miami Beach, Florida.
Where were you sent after basic for advanced training?
Went to Goldsboro, North Carolina in flight engineer school.
What was your job when you began military service?
I was a top turret gunner on a B-26 Marauder.
Where did you?
Where did you begin military service after advanced training?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was happening in the world when you were in the military?
So like on news that was occurring.
I was discharged as a tech sergeant at the end of World War II.
How long did you serve in the military?
Total 39 years, 8 months, and 10 days.
Dang.
Very exact. What was the reason for you to get out?
I was in 3 different wars. World War II, I got out when the war was over in Europe. I sailed home from Southampton, England, on the day that the Germans surrendered on 9th of May, 1945. So I was in the Army Air Corps 3 years during World War II.
And what engagements can you remember from the war?
I was a top turret gunner and flew 60 combat missions in World War II over Italy and Germany.
What do you remember most about your time in service?
It wasn't easy. We lost a lot of people, lost all my crew. I went overseas with 6 and I was the only one that made it home. Lost a lot of people, a lot of airplanes during the war. It was a very, very destructive time in our life that Hitler was trying to take over eliminate the Jews in the world, and terrible time, and our country was threatened, and so when I was a senior in high school, that's when the Japanese dropped a bomb on Pearl Harbor, 7th December, and you still hear about that today. I was a senior in high school, 17 years old, and President Roosevelt came on the radio the next day. We didn't have television back in those. Came on the radio the next day and declared war and said that all young men 18 to 35 was going in the service when you turned 18. You could finish high school, but then you went in the service. That was on a Sunday, I remember. Next day of school on Monday, we all knew where we were going. We didn't have to worry about where we were going to college and that kind of stuff, and most of us couldn't afford it any back in those days. So anyhow, I turned 18 in August and was drafted in and spent almost 3 years in.
What qualities do you still carry with you today from the military?
Say it again.
What qualities do you believe that you carried from the military?
You learn to be, how to work with other people. That it's not a one man's game. You learn to tolerate people. And the one thing we had in World War II that you don't have today, when somebody told you to do something, you did it. There wasn't any question, well, let's see, I think I'm going to go talk to somebody, see if I really have to do it. Back in those days, if an officer told a sergeant to do something, you did it. If a master sergeant told a corporal what to do, you did it. We had that, and it worked for the military. And there wasn't any question because you all had the same goal. But you had a boss, you were taught that in basic training in 6 weeks. You learned that first day. And we had a lot of discipline during the war. And I think that helped our country. And then after the war, when we started, it helped people back to civilian life how to do it. And everybody respected discipline. Today, they don't have all that exactly in the military. They question everything and that sort of thing. But it's just the way it is.
What are your most enduring memories?
My what?
Your enduring memories?
Memories, I lost my crew, the only one made it home. Never forget that. Never forget, had 2 people die on airplanes, never made it home. Just a lot of stuff like that, you just never forget it, you know, still think about it later. And, but there was some good times too. You know, we always had a lot of good friendship, and after the war, we, our unit developed an association where every year or 2 we get together someplace in the United States, bring your wife, girlfriend, whoever, for a weekend. You kind of just celebrate, play, and all that kind of stuff, talk about old times. That's a lot of fun, a lot of fun. We're still just got a few left today, but we did that for many years. I took my genie, we'd go and so on, stuff like that. Stay together, still get on mailing lists with each other, still hear from people, but gradually all disappearing. Now, I'm 94, and not many of us left, so, but you never forget it.
And you basically just answered the last question. So the last question was, do you ever get back together with the people you served with?
Oh yes, yeah, we did that, and I was able to participate pretty much. Couldn't always go because you're working, you know, get away for a weekend, but I was able to do it a little later on, and that was a lot of fun. Still corresponding with people, and I've been to a lot of military funerals over the years, and but good. You never forget them.
And right. Did you go to the honor flight?
Yes, I went through I was on the 4th one of the honor flight, and that's quite an experience. Quite an experience. There was 60 of us, and 24-hour deal, and everywhere you went, there's people at the airport wanting to greet you and shake your hands and all that kind of stuff. And we got to memorial, all 60 of us, or 30 of us, and we each had a guide. So, and that was quite an experience. Sat there with people that you served with during the war. All you had was a tag around your neck of what branch of service, Army, Air Force, Navy, or Marines, but not what you did, what your rank was. Nobody cared if you were a private or a general. But it was just nice to be together. That's quite an experience to see that. See people that were there with you at the same time as you were. I was on the fourth one. I was really very fortunate to be able to do it. Of the 30 we had, about 12 of them were in wheelchairs and that kind of stuff. And we always let them get on the bus first and off and so on. And but you never forget that.
Well, thank you for coming in today. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay. Very good.
His rank was 2-star general.
Just a different generation you all are in.
Definitely.
A lot of many things are better. Your schooling is better and stuff like that today.